Happy New Year. Today we're going to be diving into Midjourney version 6. The alpha release just came out and everyone's talking about it. Using it is pretty simple. We're going to go into Midjourney and then we're going to go into our settings, so /settings. And from the top drop down bar here, we can now select Midjourney version 6 alpha. The first big change is with prompting. With version 6, we're able to give Midjourney much longer, more concise, more detailed prompts, and it does an amazing job at creating images from those. Not only does this help with initial prompts, it also comes into play with remixing your images too. The checklist I recommend following when you're going to prompt Midjourney is number 1, start with the main scene. Number 2, get more detailed. So specify clothing, colors, textures, emotions, age, anything that you want more detail on. Then you can dive deep into the location. So where is this happening? What does it look like? And the last thing, if you want an artistic style applied, put that on the end. So again, we can make this very detailed with version 6 and it's gonna follow the entire prompt much better. With that framework in mind, let's make an image. So we will hop into Midjourney and what we're gonna do is start with the main scene. So our scene is gonna have a dog on a surfboard in the ocean, and then we're getting a little bit more detailed, right? So on the left is a man on the beach with long blonde hair chasing after the dog. On the right, we have the smiling golden retriever dog, which is moving away from the man. And then we're gonna get more detailed with the location. So the sun is high in the sky, the beach is lively with other people sunbathing and having a good time. And lastly, with the style, this doesn't have to be added. None of this really has to be added, but again, we're emphasizing how specific we can get. So we're gonna use the style of expressionism, which is gonna make everything a little bit brighter and more impactful. So let's see what Midjourney comes up with for this. We have our 4 results, and I went ahead and upscaled my favorite of the 4. I think Midjourney does such a great job following every detail of the prompt now. It's pretty impressive, but to me, it feels like almost everything we put into this prompt is showing in the image. Since prompting is the biggest part of this new version 6 update, let's dive into a couple of the patch notes from Midjourney just to go over exactly what they're saying about version 6. Prompting with version 6, like we've already talked about, is much different than version 5. A lot of people will kind of have to relearn how to prompt. And a couple of the things that you need to do, like we already talked about, is just be much more detailed in your prompts and explicitly say what you want in the image. Now, the other thing that Midjourney is emphasizing is to remove any of the filler words that we used before. So what they call junk, like award-winning, photorealistic, 4K, 8K, Midjourney version 6 is not gonna do well with these filler words. A couple of other notes, if you're looking for something more photographic, less opinionated, Midjourney is saying that you should use style raw. If you're looking for the prompt to be understood better, put the style lower in your prompt, just so that Midjourney doesn't use its own style and kind of change the prompt up. I think overall what they're trying to say is just tell Midjourney what you want and be detailed. It's gonna do a much better job of picking it up. You don't have to trick it anymore. Version 6 does an amazing job. Other than just prompting, Midjourney has added the ability to add text to images. So you could sort of do this before, but it would create a lot of random characters and letters. It was very difficult to get an image to have the text that you want. But what they did with version 6 is allow you to put quotations around whatever you want the text to be, and it does a pretty good job of recognizing that. They also say that putting the style on raw or the style much lower helps with recognizing the text. So what we'll do is just put the style to like 50 for this example. So our prompt is going to be a chalkboard with writing of Happy New Year on it, and we'll go with the style of 50. And we got our chalkboard with Happy New Year on it. There's no other random characters. They spelled the words right. So it just does so much better than it used to at generating text. The last small update is a subtle and creative upscaler. So both of these upscaled the image twice their resolution. And the subtle one pretty much keeps the image the same. The creative changes the image a little bit. I did go ahead and upscale both our Happy New Year picture as well as our dog picture. And I'll let you take a look at the two and see if you notice any difference. And then a quick FYI, there are a couple features that are not yet supported with version 6. They're supposed to be coming soon, but those are pan, zoom, vary by region, tune, and describe. So they're not quite out with version 6, but they should be soon. All in all, this update is really exciting. The three major benefits, obviously the biggest and first one is prompting. Version 6 is doing a much better job recognizing our prompts and using more detailed prompts. Next, we get to text recognition, which is a long time coming. I've tried to have Midjourney give me text a lot in the past and it would just generate random characters. So that frustration is now over. And then the two new upscalers, that's a giant benefit too. A couple of things to remember with the prompts: be detailed, be explicit. You can use longer prompts now, but do not add any junk words in there. And then if you're trying to get your prompt to be better recognized, use a lower style or use that style raw feature to help with that. All in all, I am really excited, but thank you as always for watching, and share anything that you create as well.